What's your position on immigration reform, and do you believe, like some conservatives, that we need to slow the growth of total immigration?
I don't believe that we need to slow the growth of total immigration. As you know, somebody who my great-great-grandparents got here in the early 20th century, and then their extended family was all murdered in the Holocaust. But I'm a believer in immigration. What we have right now is, honestly, everybody should agree on immigration. It's the easiest issue in the world. Shut the border, figure out what to do with the people here. The only reason you even have to shut the border is because you have the welfare state. If there were no welfare state, then we could have free flow of people across the border. You could come in, you could work, you could leave, there'd be free commerce. You wouldn't be a net loss in terms of the tax dollar. You wouldn't be not paying taxes and then taking benefits. So you can have one of two things. You can either have a welfare state with very restrictive immigration, or you can have a non-welfare state with complete free flow of immigration. If we're going to have the welfare state, which realistically speaking we do, then what we have to do is we have to figure out how to shut the border now so that we're not incentivizing millions of more low education people to cross the low skill people who don't speak English to cross the border. And we actually start enforcing our visas, because 40% of the folks who are here illegally have overstayed their visas that we gave them in the first place. And then we figure out what to do with the folks here. And in my view, whether that's a pathway to citizenship or whether that is a pathway to legalization, that doesn't become immediate until after the border is actually secure. Because until the border is secure, it's an open invitation to come in. Because how exactly are we going to tell? Is there a red stamp on your illegal immigration passport? There's no way to tell. If you come over today versus you came over 10 years ago, we can't tell that. There's no way to tell that. So the fact is that everyone sort of agreed on this going in, that it was going to be border security and then immigration reform. And then Barack Obama and Democrats in the Senate said that here's the new deal: border security, immigration reform, and no border security. And then they used that as a weapon to wield against Republicans. And again, this is an example of Republicans not understanding how the left operates. The left never wanted immigration reform. They wanted to run on immigration reform. The left wanted to be able to look in 2014 at all the Latinos and say to them, all the Hispanics, and say to them, look at these evil right-wingers. Look at these evil white-wingers. The reason they stopped immigration reform is because they hate you. Not because they have a rational, but because they hate you. Right? Obama could have done this during his first 2 years. He didn't. The reason he didn't is because he wants that issue as a club to divide people. And so we could come to an agreement on this. Everybody, left, right, center, basically agrees on the basic proposition that I'm stating right now, which is that you can't continue a free flow of immigration into a welfare system. But that's not politically advantageous. So my biggest problem is with both parties. I mean, the Republican Party, on the one hand, says the pro-immigration reform people who want to leave the border open say, on the one hand, we need more free labor for our businesses, which is a really kind of nasty way of churning through people, you know, who don't have high education. It's not about American freedom. It's about we need them to pay our Social Security. I mean, they've actually said this, right? We need young Latino immigrants to pay Social Security for all the old white people. That's nasty. And on the left, you have people who want to leave the border open because those are all potential Democratic voters if you can just get them into the welfare state.